today we're looking at the EasyAcc Wi-Stor Wizard 4-in-1. That is battery bank, wireless router, file sharing and file server. Here it is in the box and those things are detailed on the back. Okay, so let's take it out of the box. I can get this tape open, here we go. Okay, so in the box you have your quick start guide, standard now, and you have the Wi-Stor Wizard itself. It's worth noting that this does not come with its own charging lead. That would have to be purchased separately. Okay, so let's go through some of the specs. It has one USB port for data transfer, one USB port for charging, one SD card slot, and one WAN port. The Wi-Fi standard is 802.11b/g/n, pretty standard there. And the Wi-Fi transfer rate is up to 2.5 to 3.5 megabytes a second. The power bank capacity is 8800 milliamp hours, which is pretty good for something like this, with an input of 5 volts and 1 amp, and the output of 5 volts and 1 amp. Also, the dimensions are 94 by 54 by 16 millimeters, and the weight is 260 grams. It supports SD cards of up to 32 gigabytes and external hard drives of up to 1 terabyte, and also USB memory sticks, any kind of memory in between that. It's also worth noting that you can transfer files between the SD card and the external hard drive or USB stick while they are connected to the device. Okay, so if we take a quick tour around the device now, I'll show you, point these out: the wireless on and off switch, the DC input, once you have a cable for it, and the reset switch. That is the battery charging input for the USB, the WAN/LAN port, and the USB port for your memory stick/external hard drive. And on the other side you've got the SD card and the power button for turning on the charging feature. And on the end you have a few things about it, plus the username and passwords, which is helpfully stuck on the end if anybody steals it. On the top you've got your wireless strength light, and you've got the lights that show you how much charge you have left when you press the power button. Okay, so the EasyAcc Wi-Stor Wizard 4-in-1, or all-in-one depending on which website you are looking on. And just to go over that again quickly, it is a file server, a file sharer, it is a battery bank, and a wireless router. Okay, so let's start by talking about its Wi-Fi capabilities. Now, it can be used as an extender, so it can connect to Wi-Fi and then extend your range if you need that. Maybe if you've got quite a large house and your router's over the other side of the house, and you can kind of put this in a midway point and extend it to the other side, so you've still got a nice clear signal, and that would work very well. You can also convert a wired connection into a wireless connection. Now, this is particularly a feature that I find very useful for places that, well, for instance, my dad's house, he doesn't have internet or Wi-Fi or anything like that, where he has wired internet and that's all, and then it's rubbish. But never mind, that's a story for another day. You can just plug it in here and wow, you've got wireless, and it's a good strength wireless. The wireless works as if, you know, it's not kind of like this hugely tiny bandwidth limited thing. It's actually pretty good. I mean, on a standard connection, if we're going to be going on fibre or anything, which unfortunately I don't have, yeah, it might have limitations there. Okay, so the file sharing portion of it, which I think is probably going to be the part that most people are going to use, you can use an SD card here, up to 64 gigabytes. I know there are some devices that can take SD cards higher than that, but I think it's officially support for 64. And then you can put in a USB device, so a memory stick such as this, go in there like that, and you can also use an external hard drive that could go in here as well, and then this can create a network, and any of your devices, such as this, one of these, and Android devices as well. I happen to only have iOS ones, and you can view pictures, and you can transfer files between stuff. I mean, obviously iOS is a bit locked off, but if you had an Android thing, you can like transfer files onto it. You can listen to music from it, yeah, and I think the most important feature is you can watch video from it streaming. Now, there are some limitations to this. It's like it hasn't got the best bandwidth when it comes to streaming digital content like this. If you've got a 1080p video that's like really super compressed and that, then it's gonna struggle. I mean, but if you look here at this video here, you can see I'm streaming my last video on my iPad. That's at 1080p and it's working fine, and the iPhone's got a 720p test video that I found somewhere to show its capability. I should say in my testing I did find files that it just didn't want to play. It just kept stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, which was kind of disappointing, especially I think like big like action-packed movie files, you might find that, and if it's not in the right format to kind of be easily decoded and streamed and what have you. And obviously, as well as all the media content, you could also say you're out from the office or something and you've got some documents you need to share with everyone else. You can just like get your memory stick and plug it in, and then this can share it to everyone who needs it. They can just take it straight off it, and you can have multiple devices connected to it at the same time, which is a pretty handy feature. I should also note that the maximum number of devices you can attach to this at one time is 5. So, I mean, that's quite a lot. I personally don't have any time where I'm going to need to share the same file at the same time within the same vicinity with 5 people. But then again, I'm probably a bit more antisocial than quite a lot of people out there. So, now actually, the last thing that this can do is being a battery bank, and to be honest, that is its actual strongest feature, because it features an 8800 mAh battery, which is pretty large. I mean, what it is basically is a laptop battery, so it's pretty reasonably heavy for like a portable thing like this. It's, yeah, pretty good. And it managed to charge my iPhone 5 right here up 5 times to full, though interestingly enough it only charged it to 96% and then stops. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I mean, I do find that quite annoying, so I'm a bit OCD about things like that, but it charged it up and the power goes down very slowly. I mean, like 5 times on a phone is pretty good. I mean, other devices such as the Kingston one and the A-Data one, they haven't got as big batteries, but they've probably got better, like easier to use functionality than one of these from a small company such as EasyAcc, who I have never heard of. And indeed, if you've heard of EasyAcc before, of something else, then do let me know, because I really couldn't find anything on them when I was doing my research for this. So when charging up, you have, well, this one is your normal one for plugging in a USB device, but if you want to charge it, you plug it into this socket here, the one with the battery, and you just hold down the power button here, and for like 3 seconds, and then your device will start to charge. It will tell you it's starting to charge, and that's as simple as that. And yeah, I did get up to 5 charges. It does claim up to 5 charges, and it was right. It did this like Monday to Friday. I charge it every night, and it did it fine. And the battery wasn't even dead. You see, I've been using this quite a lot, and it's on 3 out of 4 lights. Yeah, the lights tell you how much power it's got in it. I should also note that when charging this, because this is a pretty damn heavy duty battery, we're talking 8 to 10 hours from being dead to charge it up. And another thing that I was pretty disappointed with this, that the DC input here, if you don't already have this lead, this doesn't come with it. You have to buy this separately, and I think that's a pretty glaring omission, just assuming that whoever's going to buy it is already going to have a cable that fits, because it's either mini USB or micro USB, I forget which. Yeah, I always get them confused, but it's one of those two, and if you don't have that correct connector already, then you're going to have to buy another one in, which is pretty disappointing, really. And, you know, it's something that I personally would expect to come with a product that is mainly a battery bank. I mean, so, but there we go. Okay, aside from it not having the charging lead included, the most, like, thing that I think would hold people back from buying one of these is the setup. Because I'm not going to lie to you, this was difficult to set up. It was in no way a plug-in, play, download app, go. If you look here, you see it's saying you look for remote file something or other, remote file explorer I think it is, and you type that in to the App Store on your iPhone, and yeah, that's not there. So that was a problem. So I had to grab a different one, and I went and had to fiddle around and get that all set up. And when I first connected my iPhone, it kind of it kept disconnecting, and then when I tried to put a password on the Wi-Fi, it then wouldn't let me back on. I had to reset it and try again. And yeah, it was quite fiddly, and I imagine someone who just wants something to take out of a pack, plug it in and to work, this isn't for you. Honestly, this is not for you. If you're the type of person who's got time to go, like, fiddle about, like, yep, change all your Wi-Fi settings, etc., then you might want to look at this. I mean, the battery bank feature of it is really, really very good. So anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail over how it works and how to set it up, because trust me, if I was doing a video on how to set this thing up, it would be running like 20-30 minutes long with all like the fiddling stuff and all the changes you've got to go to, and then all the different types of devices. I have to be honest, I didn't try it with an Android device because I don't actually own one. Because I'm all appled up when it comes to phones and tablets, for the moment anyway. I mean, in the future I might be testing a few tablets out, but you know, at the moment I've got other priorities PC wise. Okay, so overall the EasyAcc Wi-Stor Wizard is actually a good device. Its 4 parts of functionality work very well for the most part. However, the points that detract from it are the fact that it doesn't come with a charging lead, the fact that it is very, very fiddly to set up, and that at 1080p some videos won't play properly. So for those reasons alone, I cannot tell you that you should go out and buy this, and to be honest, I'm not sure what type of person does ever think, yes, I need to buy something like that. I mean, if you want it as a power bank and just have the other things as a bonus extra, then absolutely, because this has got a good sized battery on it. I mean, I think this is the only one that has an 8800 milliamp hour battery on it. Lots of other ones have like smaller ones, like 1800 and stuff like this. I think I've seen a couple with like 5400 or something like that milliamp hour batteries. And yeah, this has easily got the biggest battery, and it does charge your devices up multiple times. So if you're going away or something, especially traveling, it would be really good to like charge this up. Though if we look at the comparison, like compare my phone to this, it's not exactly the smallest thing in the world, and that is mainly because of the battery. But so yeah, if you do have the time to set this up and you already have a charging lead for it, and your main use for it isn't going to be like playing HD movies to your phone or to your tablet, then I would recommend this product. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments, would you buy one of these? I mean, for the functionality that it has, if you take away its problems that it has, like not having a charging lead, that I've mentioned a few times because it was a real gripe of mine, I'm not going to lie. So if you're in the market for one of these, would you go for one of these by maybe a manufacturer such as EasyAcc that you might not have heard of before, or would you go for a more well-known manufacturer, make something similar such as Kingston or AData? So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Hello to all the new subscribers. I mean, after the 7850k video, it's gone pretty crazy. So yeah, it's much appreciated. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you next time.